Hi, welcome to my video on graphing quadratic inequalities, part 3. Each time I do different videos, I try to add on something new to each video as I progress. So now I'm going to graph this inequality, which is a parabola, because it's y equals ax squared plus bx plus c in that form. But in order to graph this inequality, which is a parabola, I need the vertex. So the vertex is x equals negative b over 2a. A is 1, b is negative 6, c is 5. So I have the negative of a negative 6 over 2 times 1, and that's 6 over 2, 3. So the x coordinate of my vertex is a 3. Now I need the y coordinate. So I'll put the 3 back in the inequality, or I could pretend there's an equal sign here. It don't make any difference. I'm getting a 9 minus 18 plus 5. I square first to get a 9, then I multiply. Now I'm going to add, and that gives me negative 9, and 5 is a negative 4. So my vertex is 3, negative 4. So x is 3, and y is negative 4. So that's roughly about right there. And I'm going to let x equal 0 in the equation or inequality, and I will get 0 squared minus 6, 0 plus 5. So that gives me a 0 and a 0 and a 5. So my y-intercept when x equals 0 is 5. So when x is 0, y is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. So notice I have 3 units to the left, I have a 5. If I go 3 units to the right, which is right here, I can also have a 5 because it's symmetrical. So the parabola has this vertex, and is the boundary line, is this parabola, the boundary line I'm going to draw here now, is this boundary line solid or broken? Because there's no equal sign, the boundary line is broken. So I'm going to put dotted boundary line and come down this way and get a broken boundary line. There it is, going on. So now what happens? Y is greater than, we discovered on the previous video. I can do two things. I can say this is the parabola, greater than would be up, so this would be greater. All points that's inside, if you think about it, in here, in this parabola. Not the boundary line, because there's no equal sign. So if you pick any point in here, if you pick the point 3, 0, it would make this inequality true. If you pick the point 0, 0, 0, 0 is not here, so 0, 0 would make this false. So it's knowing that it's greater than, you can just shade above. But if you want to pick a point and check. So let's check with 0, 0, just to see. 0 greater than 0 squared minus 6 times 0 plus 5. And 0 greater than 0 minus 0 plus 5. 0 greater than 5. No. So this point doesn't fit, so you can't shade out here. You have to shade in here. Perfect. So if you pick the point inside of here anywhere, any point in here, the point that you pick in here would make this true when you plugged it in. Okay, there's one example. Let's do some more. And graph y is less than equal to negative x squared minus 2x. And again, to graph what I need the vertex, and I need a point to make sure. Notice this parabola is negative, so the parabola is opening down. So let's find the vertex. X equals negative b over 2a. A is negative 1, b is negative 2. And notice that 0, so c is 0. Put the 0 in. So I have the negative of a negative 2 over 2 times negative 1. So b is negative 2, a is negative 1. So that's 2 over negative 2, which is negative 1. And I want the vertex. I have the x coordinate. Now I'll get the y coordinate. So y, and I have negative of x is negative 1. X is negative 1. And that works out. Negative 1 squared is 1. So that's a minus 1. Negative 2 times negative 1 is plus 2. So that gives me 1. So the vertex, and again I could have an equal sign here. Finding the, don't have to have the inequality. You could have the equal sign. So the vertex is negative 1, 1. So let's plot negative 1. X is negative 1, y is 1. So there's the vertex right there. And take the inequality and we let x equal 0. So when we do, we get negative of 0 squared minus 2, 0. And there's nothing else, so that's a 0 minus 0. So when x is 0, y is 0. You can have an equal sign. So when x is 0, y is 0. So that's x is 0, y is 0. That's the y-intercept at 0. The x and y-intercept are at the origin. That means if you move 1 right, you get 0, 0. If you move 1 left, you should get the same y value. The y value here is 0 when you move 1 right. The y value here when you move 1 left should be 0. So this parabola is less than equal to. Equal to means the boundary line is solid. So we make the boundary line solid. There it is. And now we shade less than. And I know less than is down. So I'll shade down. Again, you can check with a point. If you take any point that's inside of this parabola, if you take this point right here, which is, that point right there is x is 0, negative 2. You could take 0, negative 1. You could take 0, negative 3. You could take the point right here of negative 1, 0. You could take any point inside of here, but any point inside will make it true. So I'll just verify that. So y is negative 2, less than, x is a 0, x is a 0, so negative 2 less than equal to, so 0 squared is 0, and that's a 0, negative 2 is less than or equal to 0, and that's true, so I'm shading in here. Again, if you pick any point over here, any point on here, it would make it false. Okay, let's continue. And we have another one to do. Graph y is less than 2x squared plus 8x plus 6. And again, we need the vertex. X is equal to negative b over 2a. A is 2, b is 8, c is 6. So b is 8, so that's the negative of the 8. A is 2, negative 8 over 4, which is negative 2. Now we'll plug that in and pretend there's an equal sign there. So we have 2, 2, and that gives us 2 squared is 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 8 is 16 plus 6. I got careless. Okay. I had a negative 2 there, and what did I plug in? I plugged in 2. So that's a negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4 times 2 is 8. But that gives me a negative 16. 8 times negative 2. So just, again, I'm doing too much talking and not enough thinking. So that gives me negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2. So the vertex is negative 2, negative 2. So when x is negative 2, y is negative 2. That's the vertex is right there. And I need the y-intercept. Why I get the y-intercept? Because it's the easiest, because you're plugging in x is 0. And I just want to mention, if you're plugging the x is 0 right here, then that term is 0. If you're plugging 0 here, that's a 0. So automatically you get a 0 and a 0, so you get 6. But I just want to show you that. I'm working this out, but really I didn't need to, because 0 squared times 2 is 0. 8 times 0 is 0. So we get the number on the end. So we have x is 0, y is 6. X is 0, y is 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. And it makes sense that this parabola is plus and is opening upward. And so if we move 2 units to the right and we get 6, we move 2 units to the left and we'll also get 6. Because the parabola is symmetrical. And so there we go. And guess what? It got to be broken. It has to be broken. And just to fix that, sorry about that, but I'll use a little whitener because it should be broken. I just want to make sure I do it right. And now I have it. I was not thinking about the boundary line then, because there's no equal sign, then this boundary line is broken. So now I have it broken, and there's less than is below, so I have to shade downward. So I have to shade downward. So there it is. And if this was greater than, I would be shading in here. And again, if you take the point 0, 0, which is the easiest to do, the point 0, 0 is in that, on that shaded region. So the point 0, 0, if you want to check it, 0 less than 2, 0, 0, 0, less than 0 squared times 2 is 0. 8 times 0 is a 0. So 0 is less than 6, true. Again, so this point is true, so that's why I'm shading out here. But also, I didn't have to do that because I know that this is the boundary line of my parabola. Less than is downward, so I'm shading down. And hope this brings an end to this video, and hopefully you enjoyed my video. If you did, click the like button, subscribe button, and the notification bell. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. And that's the content that's on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Bye-bye. Thank you for viewing my video.